All right, so my low, my high, my act of kindness. Let's see, what happened? Right. I guess my low is that nothing really happened. I guess that would constitute a low. Yeah, I really don't. Oh. I don't really know. I guess this is going to be a bit of a cop out, I guess, because nothing that would constitute a low really happened. But I guess the fact that, you can't really do much on a Saturday night anymore because of how the world is now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I always have plans on Saturday night. I mean, worst case scenario, well, actually, since summer was over, I've just been hanging out with my folks on Saturday night. Till around 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and then I, mosey on back here. But I guess the fact that, and don't get me wrong, technically I will never ever get sick of seeing my parents, but it would be nice to see other people. I shouldn't say nice to other people. Because my father and I when we go out for dinner, we actually went to Sorge's last night for dinner. We saw people. So there were people there, I guess. But yeah, nothing, you can't really do much anymore for now. Maybe that's kind of the low for me. Other than that, nothing really bad happened. I guess that's a good thing. Well, actually, technically nothing bad happens, that's a very good thing. What am I saying? Right, so my high, well, pretty obvious, nothing really beats hanging out with your father and then later your mother when she gets back home from work. Yeah, the other day I said that she works at Corning Hospital from 7 in the morning to 7 in the evening. Here's the thing. It's supposed to be 7 to 7, but because, my mother works in a hospital. Big cases that are, emergency related come up at the most random times. Even today, she'll be on the verge of being able to head home, but, a guy has like a motorcycle crash and so they have to take him to the emergency room, or, a bunch of people come in being sick, whatever. Seriously, that has happened before. And instead of being home at like 7, maybe 7:30, it's actually been more. Seriously, there have been times where she was supposed to be home at like 9 because sometimes she'd work at because growing up she would also work at Robert Packer Hospital in Sayre, Pennsylvania. And there have been times where, and actually, I should explain, Big Flats and Sayre, Pennsylvania are like well over a half hour away from each other, so that's already kind of a big distance. But there have been times where she was about to go home at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and then a giant emergency happens, and so she doesn't get back home until like 1 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy. But that's the profession she chose, and I'm certainly, she makes a living off of that, so I can't really complain. Let's see, what else? So yeah, hanging out with my folks last night, that was very nice. And my act of kindness? Actually, you know what? Another high is, I got to see my brother yesterday. Yeah, he's actually, getting his master's right now, and for a school project, he wanted to talk to my father about something. I'm not going to get into what it is, but let's just say that my brother and I actually have the same opinion about something. Maybe I could, I guess I have explained this before, but I could stand to do it again. But, yeah, that was nice. But my act of kindness, well, I actually did the laundry for my folks. Yeah, sometimes I go to my folks' place to do, my laundry, but, I'll do theirs if I have to as well. I don't mind. Especially since if I do their laundry and then I do my laundry, make sure that nothing gets mixed up. So that's even better. Right, so with that out of the way, good morning and happy Sunday, everybody. So, I actually almost didn't really have any sort of idea for this video, but actually just talking about seeing my brother last night sort of brought it up. And that is, the project that my brother is doing involves asking my father, because here's the thing, I've said this before many times, I grew up Catholic, I'm Christian. I go to church. I went to church last night even, so yeah, I don't think there's been I don't think anyone's ever argued with me on that. But the kind of interview that my brother and my father were having, made me sort of think was actually a very interesting one. It's basically, and this has been an ongoing issue for probably decades now at this point. But it's the issue of homosexuality getting married in, the Catholic Church. Now, I say this has been an issue for decades. I'm not kidding. I remember Lewis Black talking about this in his stand-up special, Red, White, and Screwed, way back in, the early 2000s. And it's 2020 now, so it's been most definitely quite a while. So, with that said, I actually have to follow, it's actually in a way his school of thought, but it's sort of a conclusion I came up with as well. And I want to make this perfectly clear right now, and actually I've said this many times in the past, and I'll continue to say this. I am 100% for the LGBTQIA community. I will fight for their rights. I will. Because I know people who fall into that category, and I can tell you right away, they are a wonderful community. Although, I am going to tell you this, they have a lot of letters. Seriously, by 2030, they'll probably have the entirety of the alphabet figured out in terms of how it goes, LGBTQIA and then the rest of the letters of the alphabet. That's a joke, by the way. Of course, that's, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, right. So, with that said, I have zero problem if, people who are who fall into the homosexual category, get married in the church. I have no problem with that at all. But my reasoning, and this is sort of what I got from, again, Lewis Black. I should say Lewis Black's one of my all-time favorite comedians, so, take that what you will. So maybe I am kind of being biased by going by this opinion, but the way I see it, gays, lesbians, trans, whoever, they know exactly the kind of person they want to spend the rest of their life with. And take it, me, for instance, I'm straight. Someone who's gay wouldn't go for someone like me because they'd be able to figure out that I'm straight. And if it doesn't come across well, it's not like they're not going to want an explanation. I mean, if you thoroughly explain things, they're going to understand. I mean, just like if I was to hit on a girl who was a lesbian, she'd tell me she was a lesbian, I'd be like, okay then, that's fine, I'll just be your friend then. That's fine, I want to be everyone's friend. So, yeah, I really have zero problem with that at all. In fact, I've said this I've jokingly said this before, but it actually is true. The only reason why I'm not a gay rights activist is really because I don't know how to be one. Really not at all. If someone were to tell me how to do it, show me the way. Yeah, I would totally do it. And if ever anyone asks, I'm also very comfortable with my own sexuality. I mean, I've said this before many times, I am straight, but honestly, I'd dress in drag if the opportunity presented itself. In fact, to be perfectly honest, if Halloween was still going on, I mean, Halloween's long over by now, but one of my costumes I was contemplating on wearing was Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror Picture Show. You know, I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Yeah, I was totally gonna rock that, but they couldn't do that this year because, again, how the world works. But it really does go to show that I'm incredibly comfortable with it. That's fine, you know. If homosexuals want to get married in the church, that's fine. I'm all for it. Because basically, the way Lewis Black kind of said it is, you know, if you're straight, then they're not going after you. And that's actually true. You know, gay people know not to go after someone like me who is straight. They know better than to go after someone who, for lack of a better analogy, already has a ring on it. So, really, there's nothing to worry about. I mean, if there was anything to worry about is the fact that, you know, if they do get married, you know, they do have to follow, you know, the rules involving marriage, which can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your opinion. And by rules, I mean, obviously, don't cheat on your spouse. You know, insert clip from Seinfeld about Kramer explaining marriage here. But, yeah, I mean, gays want to get married in the church, go right ahead. I'm not going to complain. I mean, there really is no reason why it's a bad thing that I can think of. Well, technically, yeah, there is. And Patton Oswalt did a great job of explaining that. Patton Oswalt's another one of my all-time favorite comedians, by the way. And it is technically a valid argument involving what Patton Oswalt mentioned. I'll put a link to the description, you know, down below. And if I can find Lewis Black's video, I can definitely put a link to that description down below as well. But in the end, I have zero problems or complaints if homosexuals want to get married in the church. None whatsoever. Just, you know, I mean, not that I need to explain this, but, you know, just be sure that, you know, the feeling is completely mutual and, you know, you don't go after someone like me, please. Because here's the thing, you know, we hear all the time in the news that, you know, rape happens. But here's the thing. It also happens very much in the LGBTQIA community as well. But because gays don't have the rights that they do, no one really ever cares about that stuff. Even though it really does happen, and it really is just as bad if it were to happen between two straight people. And that's one of the main reasons why that's not right. Because, you know, rape and, you know, sexual deviance of any kind is just wrong. And I will admit, growing up, I always was under a constant state of fear that something like that would happen to me. And by happen to me, I mean I would be the one to do the evil deed, if you will, not be a victim. I mean, come on, I'm 6'4" and I'm a grown man. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't. It's kind of hard pressed for someone like me to be a victim. Someone of my characteristics to be a victim, I mean. But it happens. It most certainly does happen. But I know to be careful, and I know to surround myself with very good people, both straight and gay, who, you know, care about how I feel, and I care about how they feel. So, yeah. You know, and I'm sure there's gonna be people out there who don't like what I have to say about the matter, and that's your prerogative. What you feel is up to you. But me, I have no problem with that whatsoever. You know, gays want to get married in the church? By all means. Fun fact though, it's actually a dream of mine to actually help. And it could be either straight or gay, but it's always been a dream of mine to help out a friend who was like proposing to, their girlfriend. Like they tell me they're about to propose to like their girlfriend. Like, what do you mean you do? I will help you in any way. I always want to help someone do that. That's like a dream of mine. Because like, what do you want me to do? Because I want to be there when like the guy proposes to the girl, or the guy to guy, or girl to girl, or whoever. Like, they open the box with the ring in it, and I'm like, ooh, are they gonna say yes? I know, I'm a sap like that. I really am a sucker for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I always wanted to help someone out with that. Actually, thing right there. Anyway, so yeah, you guys now know my thoughts about, homosexuality and marriage in the Catholic Church. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And, maybe one day no one will have a problem with that. Sadly though, we don't really live in that kind of world. But the only way we're going to get to that fateful day, and by fateful day I mean, the good day where no one has a problem with this, we just got to get there one step at a time, one day at a time. Like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on social media platforms, notifications on YouTube. I'm very humbled to make this video for all you guys watching. I completely forgot to do my NFL picks. Alright, looks like we're going to have to rapid fire this. Wow. I talked a lot more about what I was talking about than I thought I was going to do. Holy cow. So, alright, I got to rapid fire this. Alright. I'm picking the Browns over the Texans, the Lions over the Washington football team, the Panthers over the Buccaneers, the Eagles over the Giants, the Packers over the Jaguars. You know what? Hold on. You know what I'll call it? Let's go Buffalo over the Cardinals. That's actually a really tough game to do. Dolphins over the Chargers, the Raiders over the Broncos, the Seahawks over the Rams, the Steelers over the Bengals, the Saints over the 49ers, and I'll pick the Ravens over the Patriots. So now I can say, like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on social media platforms. I'm very humbled to make this video for all you guys who watch the show for me. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. You're ready to watch some football. And remember, if you guys want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to let you know. I'll be back. Take care and make good choices.